Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to learn one more function that is widely used in Spark SQL. Let's say if you have a code in PySpark and you want to write the same code in SQL, then you need to know this particular function for sure, because without knowing this function, you will not be write any SQL code. So this video is must to learn if in case you want to write any code in SQL using Spark, which is Spark SQL. Before we jump into the today's video, let's see what all topics we have already covered so far so that you will be able to grasp the Spark, that is PySpark, along with Spark SQL from beginning to advance. So let's go ahead and see those functions, those videos that I've already created in the playlist so that it will be helpful if you learn them step by step. So let's see. So this is the YouTube channel that I have. So if I go to this, there's a playlist of Spark basic to advanced. If you will see in this, I have covered starting from what is an RDT, what is a schema, what is a data frame, how you can create a data frame, what is a DAG, which is really important to know, and how you can go ahead and read the JSON in Spark. This is also really important to know, and how to flatten those JSON files, and how to select the columns, how to do a pivot, how to add or rename the columns, how to do a show command, and how to collect, how to do a group by, and there are many more. There's one more playlist that will be really helpful. In this, you can see, you can read your CSV file, how you can write the data frame into CSV file, how you can read an Excel file, what are the Databricks utilities that helps you running the notebook, and what is an autoloader, and delta life table. These are very important topics that I've already covered. I would highly recommend you to go ahead and watch these videos so that you will be able to learn the Spark from beginning to advance, and you will become an expert on that. So without any delay, let's get started for today's function that we have, which is called create or replace temp view. So in this, first let's understand why we need this create or replace temp view. So in order to use any SQL function, you will need this particular function. So in case of Spark, the advantage of Spark is what? It can help you write the code in a data frame method or in a SQL method. If you want to use the SQL method, then you have to create a table first out of a data frame and then start manipulating the data. And the advantage of this particular table is it's not like a permanent table. It is actually linked to a particular Spark session. So let's say you have a particular Spark session, and if you create a temp view, that particular temp view will be linked to that particular Spark session itself. And that's why the name is called temp view. So if in case you want to use the same temp view in another Spark session, then how will you do that? Don't worry, you can also do that, which we will be covering in the next video, how you can use a temp view in a different Spark session. So now let's see what is the syntax for it. I have a data frame, that is my data here, which is having an ID, name, and department. Now, if in case I want to go ahead and create a data frame, I can use this create data frame method in order to create a data frame. If you don't know how to create a data frame out of a list, then watch the video of how to create a data frame. I will pin that in the I button, in which it will help you explaining how to do it from step to step. Now, once you have created the data frame, now you can do any manipulation on the top of this data frame. However, if you want to use a SQL function, then on the top of this data frame, you have to create another table, that is a temp view. I'm using the table and view interchangeably, but in Spark terminology, it's called temp view. Now I have this employee. This is the temp view. on the top of this particular temp view, I can go ahead and write any SQL query. So let's see that in practical, which will help you in making the functionality much more clearer. Okay, so I have my notebook ready here, and I have this schema, I have a data, and I am creating a data frame out of it. So let me go ahead and run this command. So this is my data frame ready. Now, let's say if you want to do any kind of manipulation on this data frame, let's say I just want to select my ID, then I can do a df dot select ID, right? And I can do a show command on it as well. So it says invalid argument here. So let me make this column. So I have to declare also the PySpark. From PySpark.sql.functions import the column, right? So if I run this, and then only I can run this particular statement. So now if I can go ahead and show this command, then it will show me the ID, right? Now this is a method of data frame. Now let's see how we can do it in SQL. So as we were mentioning, there is this createOrReplaceTempView. Let's first see the documentation of this particular function. So that is help and then df dot create or replace temp view. So in this, let me run this. It will give us the documentation explaining what exactly is the feature of this and how exactly to use it as well. So if you will see, it says create or replace temp view, and it actually accepts an argument where it's a name, which is a string. So this name is actually your temp view name that you want to go ahead and create and use it later. Now, the lifetime of this particular temporary table is tied to the class Spark session. So if you will see here, the name is called temp view. However, the documentation here, it says it's called temporary table, and that's why I was using the table and the view terminology interchangeably, right? So it's basically a temporary table which is attached to a particular Spark session. In Databricks, this is my cluster, so I don't have to create a Spark session. It's an inbuilt. Spark is an inbuilt in the Databricks. So this particular notebook is attached to one Spark session. If I create another notebook, then it will be attached to another Spark session. So this particular table that I will be creating right now will only be used in this particular notebook. I cannot go ahead and use it in another notebook. So for that also we have an hack, as I was mentioning. We will discuss that in the next video. Now, this particular thing has a parameter string and it has a return type as none. So if you execute the command, it will not return anything, but the temporary view will be created. Now, how you can use it, it gives you an example. So let's go ahead and create the temporary view first. So we have this data frame on the top of which I will be doing this create or replace temp view, and I will be mentioning the table name, the view name as employee. So if I execute this command, it will create it, but it will not show me any result because the return type is none. It has created a table. Now let's say I want to run this command. Now in this is a Python cell, so I can run this in a Python cell using spark.sql, a SQL query. Any SQL query I can run. So let's say I will be just going ahead and doing a select star from this particular employee table that we created as a temporary. This is created. Now let me just do a show command so that I can show you. It gives me a result of all the data. Now let's say I want to just select the name here. So if I just select the name from the employee, it will show me the name column, that is Shilpa and null, right? Let's say this is a Python cell. In Databricks, there's one more functionality which is also very helpful. If you are writing a complete SQL code and you are not writing inside a Python cell, you can go ahead and convert this Python cell into a SQL cell using %SQL. So you see, if I write this %SQL here, automatically it gets converted to a SQL cell here. Now I can do the same query here in the SQL cell normally as you write a SQL query. So I'm doing a select star from employee and it's going to give me the result here. And you see it has shown me the complete result. Though it is a data frame, but it gives me the result here from the temporary view, the complete result. So if you are comfortable writing a code in SQL, then go ahead and convert it into a temporary view, and you can use any SQL command on the temporary view itself. So this is how you run a SQL query. So the first step will be to create a temporary view and then run your SQL queries, your DML operations as well. And if you want to do it in a different notebook, let's go ahead, watch the next video as well. I hope you have understood how you can run a SQL query in a Databricks notebook using a PySpark cell as well as a SQL cell. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have liked this video, do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel as well, and share it with your friends as well.
Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you have a good day.